Good afternoon, this is Schweitzer, and this is a little informational video on just getting started writing out some names for acids. This is a workbook page. Alright, so first things first, there are two different types of acids. They are oxyacids and they are non-oxyacids. So obviously just whether they have oxygen or not. Again, there are informational videos on how all this works. So check that. This is just some options for some questions. So non-oxyacids start with hydro. So that's a very big discriminating factor right there. Oxyacids do not have a hydro. So that's that. So type, this is a non-oxyacid. All right. This is an oxyacid. This is an oxyacid. This is a non-oxyacid. And this is an oxyacid. So I'm just going to do the first five, and then you can keep moving on your own. Check your answers with the answer key. Okay, so in this case, formula-wise, okay, all acids start with H. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. All right, so anion, that's represented right here. So every acid is got an H out front, and it's got an anion. So +1, this is a negative charge. It depends on what that charge is. This anion here is just Cl minus. All right, so HCl. All right, +1, -1, charge balances, and we're all set. Now you might see an AQ on the end here, and what that means is simply aqueous. Now aqueous just means dissolved in water. Okay, so be aware of that. Just it is a requirement typically for acids, but isn't necessarily make it an acid. You need two things: in water and H out front. Need that. All right, next one, sulfuric acid. Now remember, for oxyacids, there is an ic and there is an aus. The ic is referring to an 8 family, and an aus is referring to an ite family. And I use the word family. When I say family, I'm referring to a polyatomic ion. All right, so that's sulfate. So that's SO4 minus 2. And because it's a sulfate, I use ic. So because ic, I use sulfate. That's why you chose SO4, because it's an ic. So SO4 minus 2 plus 1, so the 2 goes right there. And I'm done. And AQ on here as well. Next one, we'll go a little faster. All right, carbonate. Carbonate. Look on your ion sheet, CO3 minus 2. All right, CO3 minus 2 plus 1, 2 goes right there. All right, hydrofluoric acid, non-oxy. The anion is just fluoride, which is -1. So it's just plain HF. And then we have acetic acid, which is acetate. Acetate on your ion sheet, C2H3O2 minus 1. And that ends our top piece. So let's go to the bottom here. Okay. Now, in this situation, okay, what do we got? Well, the anion, there's no oxygen here, so it's a non-oxy. I'll do here oxy. Oxy. I'm just literally looking at it contains oxygen or it does not. This guy is a non-oxy. This guy has got an oxygen, so it's oxy. All right. So again, there's different rules. You have to know, even if you don't write it down, you have to in your mind discriminate between oxygen or non-oxygen. Okay, so the anion is S minus 2. All right, so this is just going to be a non-oxy acid, is hydro. Every single non-oxy starts with hydro. And all we do is put the root in here. Hydro sulf. You could just leave it hydrosulf if you'd like, but typically you do sulfur, and then you end in ic. Sulfuric acid. All right. Let's do this guy right away because it's the same. This is hydrofluoric acid. Hard to read that, sorry. Hydrofluoric acid. And then the oxys are all the same. Now the oxy, again, we got to pick between ic and aus. So that's sulfate. So that's SO4 minus 2. That's sulfate. So I'm going to go sulfur. That's the standard prefix. And end it in ic acid. And then this is phosphate. So it's going to be phos. That's what they typically use for the prefix for phosphate. And then it's phosphic, actually phosphoric acid. And lastly, this is carbonate. All right, CO3 minus 2. That's carbonate. There is no really any carbonate that I know of, but either way, so it's going to be carbon. That's the typical prefix, and ic is my suffix, acid. And that's the first 5 on the top, first 5 on the bottom. Go ahead and give the rest of them a try. There aren't too many here that are going to cause people any major problems. I would say sometimes people might give hypo. This is not hydro. So on this one, it is my anion is ClO -1. That's hypochlorous. Sometimes people might get, let's say, this one, hydrocyanic. That's a non-oxy acid, and that is going to be Cn -1. So check that on your ion sheet. Dichromic is also on your ion sheet. Cr2O7 minus 2. It's a 7. All right. Other than that, we'll stop there. Thank you.